Growing up in Corvallis, I would say, has been different for me because I've grown up in a lot of other places. Like I grew up in Eugene and Albany before I was ever introduced to like anything in Corvallis. Things like jackets and just like clothes in general just never really got bought for me, like unless it was like a family member that would come in and, you know, get me things for Christmas, like pants and stuff like that. Honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do or grow into the person that I am today without the school, because they've given me things like laundry money and gas money. At CV, my counselors, they helped me really establish a place, and then my friend's mom ended up offering me a room in their house. And so that was just a huge, you know, help, and like, obviously I gave them all my gratitude.
I grew up here in Corvallis for a small period of time in like kindergarten, and then in like first grade I did a lot of moving around, like California, Albany, all over. And then eventually, like come second grade, I settled back down in Corvallis. And it was just like one tent, 2 adults, a kid and a cat. Having a cat when I was homeless it doesn't seem like much, but when you have no friends and you're just alone illegally on the side of a hill, having just another companion is really nice. It made that period of my life not only livable, but like actually enjoyable, because I actually had something to look forward to versus just wallowing. The school did give me like food and like shoes and whatever when I like asked for it and I had like clear need for it. But I myself never let them make a connection between exactly what it was that caused that need, because I had this like fear of, you know, if I tell the school how bad things are for me, they'll take me away from my mom. And like as much as I like hate that situation with my mom, like that's all I've got. It's hard to, you know, focus on your math or your literature or whatever when all you can think about is like, am I gonna eat? Like, do I have a roof to sit under or to sleep under? Like, if you don't have those things, they dominate your mind. College Hill gave me a lot of options to actually turn things around and see where I needed to go. And if I had not come here, I would have just been a dropout. I'm on track to graduate, which makes me pretty happy. It's like, I didn't know if I'd make it or not, all things considered.
I grew up in Central Point, which is down in Southern Oregon. I lived in between 2 bars and a meth lab. I grew up in a single-parent household after my father went to prison, and I was the sole caretaker for over 49 livestock, both my grandparents, my disabled aunt, and my mother. I was doing that from about the age of 10 years old. I left a terrible living environment, and although I faced struggles up here too, I was already homeless when I started going to school here. It's hard to stay clean when you're living in tents and campers, and we didn't have access to a bathroom or anything. We had to use buckets with a tarp. We didn't get to bathe very frequently, but we had friends' houses that we would go to and they'd let us take showers. We just essentially used whatever we had. The toughest thing out there was definitely like the cold weather. It was constant rain when we were out there, all day, all night, torrential downpour. The inside of our tents would be wet, the walls would be wet, it'd be like 30 degrees outside. Blankets don't always help that well, and we didn't like have a way to make a fire or anything. School was kind of like a reprieve. Like, I would be able to come to College Hill, charge my phone, not worry about the moisture in the tent or the rain that won't stop. College Hill did so much for my family. They provided us with toilet paper, toiletries, dentist appointments, eye appointments, food, transportation, everything. Everything that they could possibly think of. They helped us with clothes and bedding. I'm pretty sure they helped us get into the shelter that we eventually got into. And honestly, I would not have made it through there or be graduating this year if it wouldn't have been for College Hill. I strongly believe in being the person for other people that you needed when you were younger. I plan to have a house and a husband and kids. I happy family, and I hope my kids don't have to face the struggles that I've faced.
The problem of homelessness is very real in Corvallis, but it's quite shocking to many people that we have so many students who are homeless, that we have so many families. It's very difficult for them to get all the supports that they need to provide for their children.
Coming from someone who sees the look on these kids' face when they actually get to have something of their own, and knowing that if I need to have access to after-school activities, if I need to have access to those extra supports, the Corvallis Public Schools Foundation is there, and they continue to be there. And any time that those kids are struggling, I know that I can see, I can research, I can dig up something, anything to make their lives feel a little bit better. That is a powerful thing. It's just wow, you know? So if I could say anything to just one of those people out there in the audience, I would say, give. Give as much as you can. And we'll make it go as far as we can. And it's going to touch lives. It's going to change lives.